Welcome to episode 131 of Gods and Heroes of Ancient Greece. My name is MyLinda Butterworth, and today we continue with the tale of Odysseus and part 2 of Telemachus and the Suitors. The next morning he rose early, slung his sword over his shoulder, left his room, and ordered the herald to summon the citizens of Ithaca to a council. The suitors were also asked to attend. When the people had gathered, the young prince appeared before them, lance in hand. Pallas Athene had made him taller and so handsome that all those who saw him were struck with wonder. Even old men reverently made way for him as he strode toward the chair of his father. First to speak was Aegyptius, who was bent with age and rich in experience. His eldest son, Antinous, had gone to Troy with Odysseus and had been killed on the journey home. His second son, Antinous, was one of the suitors, and his two youngest sons still lived in their father's house. Aegyptius faced the assembly and said, "We have not come together since Odysseus went away. Who is this that has summoned us now? Is it an old or a young man, and why has he called us? Has he heard of foes approaching? Has he something to propose for the welfare of our country? In any case, I believe he has honest intentions, and I ask Zeus to bless his purpose." Telemachus rejoiced in the happy omen he saw in these words. He rose and took the scepter which Suitor, the herald, handed him. Then he turned to Aegyptius and said, "Noble old man, he who has summoned you stands before you. It is I who am in trouble and need. First, I lost my father, who was once your king, and now my heritage is being wasted so that soon nothing will be left. My mother, Penelope, is pressed by unwelcomed suitors. They refuse to woo her in her father's house, as I have proposed to them. Day after day they slaughter our cattle and sheep, and drink the wine sealed in our jars. What can I do against so many? You suitors, do you not realize you are wrong? Do you not fear these citizens and the vengeance of the gods? Did my father ever offend you? Have I myself ever done you harm, which would entitle you to take what is mine in recompense? No, you have caused me sorrow through no fault of my own." So said Telemachus, and bursting into angry tears, he threw his scepter on the ground. The suitors had listened in silence, and no one except Antenos, son of Aegyptius, ventured to reply. He, however, rose and cried, "Defiant boy, how dare you malign us? It is not we who are to blame, but your mother. She has been deceiving us. 3 years have passed. The 4th is almost up, and still she scoffs at our wooing. She shows favor now to this one and now to that, but her true thoughts are quite different. We have discovered her ruse." She began weaving a large web and announced to us her assembled suitors, "The wedding shall wait until I have finished weaving the shroud for my husband's old father, Laertes, so that no Achaean woman can ever say his body was not clad as befits a king. This devout pretext of hers won us over. We consented to wait. She really sat at her loom all day and worked at her weaving, but at night, by torchlight, she secretly unraveled everything she had woven by day. In this way she had put us off for 3 years. But finally, one of her handmaids, who spied on her, told us the truth, and then we ourselves surprised her as she was undoing her work and forced her to finish the shroud. So our answer to you, Telemachus, is this. Send your mother to her father, if you wish, but command her to marry the man her father, and she herself may choose. If she prefers to go on deceiving us and putting us off, we shall go on living on your shores. In any case, we shall not return to our homes until your mother has taken a husband." Then Telemachus replied, "I cannot compel my mother who bore and reared me to leave my home against her will. Antenos, neither Icarus, her father, nor the gods would approve such a course. If you have any sense of fairness at all, provide your banquets from your own stores. Let each take his turn in feasting the rest. If it pleases you better to devour the means of one man without attempting to pay back what you have taken, do so. But I shall implore Zeus and the immortals to help me deal out to you your just deserts." When Telemachus was speaking, Zeus sent him a sign. 2 eagles soared down from the mountains on wide-spread pinions. First they flew side by side, and then they circled each other. When they were directly above the assemblage, they looked down threateningly and began to tear at each other's throats and heads. Then they swept upward to the right and winged over Ithaca. Herald, the aged soothsayer, versed in reading the future from the flight of birds, interpreted this as an omen of destruction for the suitors. He claimed Odysseus was alive and near, and that his coming would spell death for them. But Eurymachus, son of Polybus, scoffed at the old man and said, "Go home and tell your children what fate is in store for them, you foolish old man. You will not trouble us with your prophecies. Many birds fly around in the beams of the sun, and they do not at all foretell something. There is nothing more certain than that Odysseus has died far from his native land." And the other suitors applauded his words and insisted that Penelope should go to her father's house and choose a husband. Telemachus made no further effort to persuade them otherwise. He asked the people of Ithaca for a swift ship with 20 oarsmen, for he wanted to set out for Pylos and Sparta to seek news of his father. If he were alive, Telemachus would wait another year. If he were dead, he would urge his mother to marry again. And now Mentor, the friend of Odysseus, to whom he had entrusted the welfare of his house while he was fighting for Troy, rose in council. Angrily, he turned toward the suitors and said, "It would be no wonder if a king lost his sense of justice and treated his people with cruelty. They do not deserve any better. Who among you remembers Odysseus, who was always kind to you and ruled over you like a father? Are you not letting these suitors squander his substance unhindered? They are hardly to blame, for they are encouraged by rumors that Odysseus will never return. But the people of Ithaca are to blame because they are silent, and do not even attempt to curb the suitors with a single word, although they are in the majority." At that, Leochristus, one of the boldest of Penelope's wooers, jeered at Mentor and said, "Just let Odysseus come as he likes, old mischief maker. We shall see if he can get the better of us. And believe me, Penelope herself, much as she yearns for him, would be least pleased if he were actually to appear. Our luck would soon overtake him. And now let us leave this meeting. Mental and Herald will do to speed Telemachus on his journey. But what do you wager that he will be here for weeks to come and wait safe in Ithaca for news of his father? I am sure he will never start for Pylos." The assembly broke up speedily and with a great deal of noise. The people of Ithaca returned to their houses and occupations, and the suitors sat at their ease at the board of Odysseus. And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales. Many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey.